Good evening, friends. Ash here again with some breaking news and election updates. It's December the 15th, 2020. And as I just posted the hearing with John Poulos in Michigan, and this must have broke right after they met. After the hearing ended, Michigan legislature committees subpoena election evidence, hard drives, laptops, emails from Detroit and suburb of Livonia. By Christina Layla, coming out of Gateway. This is also coming out other places, but I saw it here first. No, actually, I saw it here only. Sorry. Yeah, I saw it on Just the News too. Michigan legislature committees on Tuesday subpoenaed election evidence from Detroit and the suburb of Livonia. State lawmakers subpoenaed hard drives, laptops, emails, copies of all communications with poll workers and other election-related evidence. Via Just the News, concerned about possible, excuse me guys, election evidence being destroyed, members of a joint session of the Michigan Legislature's House and Senate Oversight Committees on Tuesday voted to issue subpoenas to Detroit and the nearby suburb of Livonia, demanding they surrender hard drives, emails, absentee voter counting board laptops, and other election-related materials. One Senate Democrat reportedly joined his Republican colleagues in supporting the subpoenas. Did you see this tweet? President Trump retweets attorney Lynn Wood. Kemp and Raffensperger will soon be going to jail. We'll see. It's looking like it. A November 28 order memo from the State Bureau of Elections had followed the same protocol as prior elections and ordered the deletion by November 30th of e-pollbook laptops and flash drives, unless a petition for recount has been filed and the recount has not been completed. A post-election audit is planned, but has not yet been completed, or the deletion of the data has been stayed by an order of the court or the Secretary of State, unquote. Michigan State Senator Ruth Johnson, the Republican who supported the subpoena efforts, told Just the News she had previously signed the same deletion order while she was Secretary of State, but the unusual nature of the 2020 election meant circumstances had changed. President Trump was ahead of Joe Biden in Michigan on election night when corrupt Democrat elections officials in Detroit stopped counting ballots. Suddenly, a big ballot dump of more than 130,000 votes, 100% for Joe Biden, appeared at 4 a.m. after Election Day as Democrat officials blocked GOP poll observers from viewing ballot counting. I mean, look at this. Why would you do that? These people have a legal right to observe the vote, not from outside, like behind this. They're allowed to be 6 feet. One Michigan witness testified that dollies of mail-in ballots were wheeled in at around 3 or 4 in the morning after Election Day. Click here to see the full demand of documents. They're asking for a whole bunch of documents right now. So here's the subpoena from the Michigan legislature. It's a 6-page document, so I don't know if you guys want me to probably not read through it, but we can peruse it. Look through it a bit. In the name of this Senate Oversight Committee and House Oversight Committee, pursuant to the authority provided to the legislature, the Senate Oversight Committee and the House Oversight Committee by Michigan Oversight Committee by Michigan law, including but not limited to Sections 16 and 17 of Article 4 of the 1963 Constitution of the State of Michigan. Senate Resolution 150 of 2020, House Resolution. To Janice J. Winfrey, City Clerk's Office, Coleman A. Young Municipal Center. You are ordered to produce for the committee's examination the documents and communications listed in Appendix A to this subpoena under document requests. Provide the requested documents and communications either in person, by certified mail, or by electronic mail submission no later than 5 p.m. on Tuesday, January the 12th, 2021. That's cutting it kind of close. Okay. So they got till the 12th to get that documents over there, what they're asking for. Let's see if we could see the Appendix A. Here we go. Definitions and instructions. The term communication shall be interpreted in its broadest sense and means the transmittal of information by any means, including oral, written, or electronic. The term documents means and includes without limitation, so this is just laying it all out what they mean. AVCB means the City Detroit Absentee Voter Counting Board. Relating to or related to mean referring to, reflecting, concerning, or pertaining to in any manner. All right, let's just go to the documents. I can't go through all this minutia. I'll put the link in there, and you guys could look it through if you want to really peruse everything. All right, let's read 9. The requests below do not seek and should not be construed as seeking the production of documents subject to a valid claim of privilege. If you object to a request on the ground of privilege, please produce, with redaction if appropriate, any portion of such document or its attachments over which you do not claim privilege. Please also produce a privilege log that uniquely identifies each document withheld in whole or part, along with its author and each recipient, date, subject matter, and the privilege asserted. Document request number 1. All plans, outlines, or other information regarding the City of Detroit's AVCB structure. 2. Hard drives or other storage related to information contained on laptops that were used in each precinct, including the AVCB. What was the AVCB? I shouldn't have skipped that part. I guess I needed to know. AVCB means the City of Detroit Absentee Voter Counting Board in the 2020 election. Okay. Now we're back on top. We know what's going on now. All time logs and similar information related to poll watchers and poll challengers at the TCF Center. Copy of all communications with the City of Detroit's poll workers. Oh, let me just, before I forget, this stuck out in my head. And I don't know if you guys watched the full Poulos testimony, but I did, unfortunately. You want to talk about a guy that's as dull as a butter knife? He's right there. But anyway, sorry, I don't mean to say, I shouldn't judge a person. I'm trying not to judge people, but boy, that guy can just go on and on and on about the smallest minutia you could imagine. He could talk about a silkworm like crawling along the ground for like 4 hours. It's just unbelievable. But anyway, there was a couple of points in the testimony there I was so frustrated with, because they were right there on the edge of asking him the question that I thought they were going to ask him. And one of those was, they were talking about Miss Carano, the lovely blonde-haired lady who was who was the Dominion temp employee, right? And she had made an allegation that I thought she had said that Mujica was there, that Mujica was at the TCF Center, and that why was he there? In other words, this guy's like very high up in Dominion's structure, right? What is he doing at the TCF Center? And they never asked that question. The guy, I don't know what happened. He steered off in another direction. He was talking about her, but maybe they were just going down that road and they're going to bring him back again. I don't know. But it was super interesting because, just real quick, guys, the other part I just wanted to get this out there was that this is what's bugging me about this thing the whole time. He keeps saying that these machines, the tabulators, right, that have the ability to transmit the information from the tabulator, right, to either the press, he said, or the central tabulation center, I guess, right, of the state, whatever that is, the official people that it's supposed to go to, right? It has the ability to do that. So my question is, how does it do that? Is it hardwired in there just to those two sites where it's like just a one-way connection and it's just sending that information and it's not over the web somehow? I'm not understanding that. Is it through some kind of separate network? That's the question I would have asked. But anyway, sorry to go off on a tangent. But that was bugging the crap out of me the whole time because they won't ask the question. They're right there on the edge of asking and they won't ask it. Anyway, sorry guys. 5. Hard drives and memory devices for adjudication machines that were used during the AVCB process. List of workers hired to be adjudicators at the TCF Center. Purchase records for high-speed scanners and voting machines used in the 2020 general. Record of the public accuracy test for all machines. Like, they want it all. Yeah, this is important. You have to get all this documentation to figure out where the error is. Where's the mistake, right? How did the count get so far off? How are all these mistakes made? And how did so many votes all of a sudden appear for, it seems like, one side, right? Record of who is in charge of sign-in and sign-out for poll watchers and poll challengers at the TCF Center at all times during the AVCB process. All policies, instructions, guidance, or other similar documents related to the role or presence of poll watchers. So it's like a lot of stuff here, man. They want it all, right? They want everything. Who was in and out, who was responsible for everything. Records of communications with Michigan Republican Party and Michigan Democrat Party, right? Was it the same? Was it? They're going to catch him in something. I mean, you can't, if you want all this documentation, there's going to be, when you're doing something, it's hard enough to just do one lie to one person, right? And we all know we've probably done a lie in our life. Hopefully not too many, but we've all fibbed, right? And the problem is when, when you have all these different people and moving parts, somebody's going to screw it up. You know what I mean? They're going to catch somebody in something, and then that person's going to roll over on another person, and it's going to be like a domino. That's what I think's going on here, and it's like slowly, little by little, all this information is going to keep falling out. And it's going to just keep falling out to the point where it's so huge and it's so massive. I mean, I've been talking to friends who don't like Trump at all, who are Democrats, or who just, they're on the other side of the coin. And even they're starting to say, wow, man, it's this election doesn't look right, dude. So, the other side's saying that, then anyway, I'm not going to list this whole thing. I'll put it all in the links. So that's the subpoena. Just the News is covering it too. Michigan Legislature Committee subpoena election evidence from Detroit, a nearby suburb. Election integrity should not be a partisan issue. This information needs to be preserved, State Senator Ruth Johnson said. Concerned about possible election evidence being destroyed, members of a joint session of the Michigan Legislature's House and Senate Oversight Committees on Tuesday voted to issue subpoenas to Detroit and the nearby suburb of Livonia, demanding they surrender hard drives, emails, absentee voter counting board laptops, and other election-related materials. One Senate Democrat reportedly joined his Republican colleagues in supporting the subpoenas. A November 28 order memo from the State Bureau of Elections had followed the same protocol as prior elections and ordered the deletion by November 30th of e-poll book laptops and flash drives. And we just read this part. Tracy Wimmer, Director of Media Relations for Michigan Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson, a Democrat, told Just the News in a statement Thursday that she rejected Republicans' concerns about the deletion memo. The Bureau of Elections memo sent to clerks is the same memo that has been sent to clerks for years, including under the administration of now State Senator Ruth Johnson, Wimmer said. Republican House and Senate legal counsel were provided this information days ago. The fact that members of their party is choosing to ignore these truths in a press release demonstrates they have no interest in preserving the integrity of our elections or democracy. Michigan State Senator Ruth Johnson, the Republican who supported the subpoena effort, told Just the News she had previously signed the same deletion order while she was Secretary of State, but the unusual nature of the 2020 election meant circumstances had changed. All right, guys, that's pretty interesting. There's the subpoena right there. And something even bigger just broke. Peter Nygard just got indicted on sex trafficking racketeering charges. Breaking out of CNBC. Federal prosecutors in New York have charged Canadian fashion mogul Peter Nygard in connection with an investigation into allegations he trafficked and sexually assaulted dozens of girls and women for years. The 9-count indictment out of the Southern District of New York also charges the 79-year-old Nygard with racketeering and other crimes. He was taken into custody in Canada Monday night, according to press reports in that country. U.S. federal authorities raided Nygard's Manhattan headquarters earlier this year, a search that came amid claims he trafficked and sexually assaulted dozens of teenage girls and women. Alright, well, I'm going to be doing like what I call the lizard list soon, and he's definitely on it, people. I can start to see some of these. I won't go into the alien stuff right now, but it's starting to become pretty obvious that certain people are in, could be some kind of other entity, right? But either way, human or not, it looks like Peter's Nygard's going away for a long time. So with that, friends, I hope you have a wonderful evening, and I will report back any other news that breaks soon. This is Ash, WAT News, signing off for now.